Let me be clear, I don't like Raheem Sterling, and I never have, and I like the team that he plays for even less. But I simply cannot comprehend why every time England are about to appear in the World Cup, some people seem determined to hobble them before they even get there. Let me take a case in point. And by the way, I like Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan is a friend of mine. But Piers Morgan has launched a bitter attack on Raheem Sterling because of a rather ugly and foolish cartoon that he's drawn on his right shin. Why? Because it's a gun. Piers Morgan, when he's at his slimmest, can often be found wearing an Arsenal football top, whose logo is a gun. The Gunners, Piers. You feel me? The Gunners. The team you support, the Gunners, with a big gun in their logo. And you were foolish enough not to think of that when you launched your attack on Sterling today? What is it about Sterling that he's always in for it? Is it 'cause he's black? Is it 'cause his name is Raheem? Or is it just because he plays for Manchester City? No, it can't be that, because he used to get it when he played for Liverpool. Is it 'cause he's young, gifted, black, rich, and with attitude? And some people don't like that. Discuss 0344 499 1000. Now, I like Roman Abramovich even less than I like Raheem Sterling. And I like Chelsea even less than I like Manchester City. But what did Britain gain from the mean and idiotic decision to so delay the renewal of Abramovich's British visa that he missed the FA Cup final involving his own club, Chelsea? What kind of madness is this? What kind of meanness is this? Do we want Abramovich to pull out of Chelsea, to sell his holdings, to cease his investment in British property, British business, British commerce? Do we want him to spend no time in London? Would we prefer that he takes his billions to Tel Aviv? Maybe he'll pull out of Chelsea and set up an Israeli football team, Macabre Tel Aviv, maybe. What kind of madness is it? Unless, of course, Abramovich is a crook and we think that he's laundering dirty money. And if we do, isn't it time we said so? Isn't it time we arrested him? And of course, none of that is true. He isn't a crook. It's not money laundering. It's investment in the British economy that we have now just willfully kicked in the teeth. And I'll tell you how it happened. I'll tell you why it happened. Because our government, our foreign secretary, our prime minister are in the grip of maniacal hatred of Russia and Russians. We're going to crack down on Russians who've got money whilst welcoming any other person in the world who's got money. What could possibly go wrong? We're ready to take Nigerians, Emiratis. We're ready to take Saudis. We're ready to take Nigerians. We're ready to take Colombians. We're ready to take the filthy rich from every part of the globe but somehow it's Russian rich people that we have a problem with. What's that all about? Don't tell me that this is some Western policy, because I've just been looking at a picture of the President of France cavorting with President Putin at some dacha somewhere. Macron is no Bolshevik. Macron has no communist leanings. Macron just knows that Russia is an important place, and the Russian economy is important to Europe, and that's why he was there. Last weekend, not the one just past, the one before, I saw a picture of Angela Merkel. Not only in Russia, not only meeting Putin, but speaking to Putin in Russian, because she knows that Russia is important. And then in the middle of the week, there was a picture of the Japanese Prime Minister, Abe, also meeting with Putin, whilst we are locking Abramovich out of the FA Cup final when his team are playing in that final. And Abramovich has overnight, which is an issue in itself, being that he's Lithuanian, Russian, immediately flew to Tel Aviv and immediately became a citizen and passport holder of Israel, which has effectively visa-free entry into the United Kingdom, at least for short periods of time. Discuss 0344 499 1000. These are not football issues, by the way, because that's for our sister station, Talk Sport, the best sports station in the entire world, and I've heard them all. But these are political issues. These are race issues, cultural issues about Sterling and about Abramovich. Now, I believe that without taxation, there can be no civilization. No civilization without taxation. That would be my slogan. The Adam Smith Institute is a little less keen on the taxation, though, of course, well-educated fellows as they are, quite keen on civilization. I'd be interested to know how they think we can have civilization without taxation. But they've declared Tax Freedom Day. And it's the latest, apparently, that it's been since 1995. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that this week is the day you start working for yourself. Until today, you've been working for the government. You've been paying tax, every penny that you've earned, until today. Does seem rather striking, I must say, especially given how much of our civilization has been torn down by the ideological zealots that follow places like the Adam Smith Institute. And yesterday, and for some weeks, I have been proselytizing that the next general election in Britain should be fought between the authentic conservatism of Jacob Rees-Mogg and the authentic Labourism of Jeremy Corbyn. And lo and behold, a whole opinion piece on that very subject has just been written in the Independent newspaper by Dominic Frisby, almost as if he'd been listening to my show, and Dominic has kindly agreed to come on. He probably wasn't listening to my show. It's probably a case of great minds thinking alike. And talking of great minds, in 1968, Robert F. Kennedy, who would have been, in my opinion, the greatest of all American presidents, was assassinated in a kitchen in California, in a hotel, just after he'd won the California primary to be the Democratic Party's candidate against Richard Nixon in the November presidential election of that year. I never believed the story, did you, that some lowlife, Sirhan, an Arab American of Jordanian Palestinian extraction, I never believed that he had killed Kennedy. And he served 50 years in prison and will never be paroled because he cannot show remorse, because he didn't do it. He remembers nothing of his role in the events, and that's because he was acting under deep hypnosis. It was the CIA that killed Robert Kennedy. At least that's the view of Tim Tate and Brad Johnson, authors of an important new book about the assassination, which has been serialized in a downmarket newspaper all of this week. But it's a very good serialization, and it's a very good week. I wouldn't have necessarily brought this up, except Bobby Kennedy Jr., the son, the fourth of 11 children of Bobby Kennedy, has visited Sirhan in prison in Fresno, and has made public his belief that this man did not kill his father, that there were more than one gunman, that Sirhan's bullets never struck his father, that Sirhan's position in the scene meant that he could not have been the man who shot his father in the back of the head, in the back of the neck. And Bobby Kennedy Jr. is demanding the public inquiry, which has been long denied. Well, it's not denied here, because this is the mother of all talk shows.